Okay, I'm gonna do a demonstration on smoothing out your clay and specifically smoothing out pinch pots. So this is probably day 3. I made these, actually I made them longer than 3 days ago, but this is the 3rd day I've touched them and worked on them. So they're not quite leather hard. They're still bendable a little bit. So they want to be still slightly bendable, but not so smushy that you're going to cave the wall in when you start to smooth them out. So you should have a serrated rib and a smooth rib in your tools. And then these rubber ribs are located at my desk with the community tools. These are to be washed and returned at the end of class. This is the one you're going to start with, is the serrated rib. So you can see all the little lumps and bumps from my fingerprints that I have made while I was pinching. I'm going to first start by roughing up the surface. This is kind of like if you were going to sand down something that was really bumpy, you would use the most coarse sandpaper first. So this is very coarse with the teeth. It's going to rough it up quite a bit. And what it's doing is it is scraping off the tops of the little bumps. And then the second step, I'm actually going to smooth all these little crumbs, all the little tops of the bumps down into the crevices. So here's the smooth rib coming in for that second step where the clay gets super smooth. You might have to stop with either of these steps and take the clay off of the tool. But you want to go against the direction. So if the lines are going this way, you want to take the tool across that. And notice I'm not using the edge of the tool. I'm not doing this. I'm curving the tool to go with the contour of the pot. And so technically I'm using this part. You can see where the clay gets on it. I'm using the flat part of the tool, not the edge. So if you continue to do this for a while, it's going to get super ultra smooth. And all those bumps are going to disappear. You do have to go back with your finger and kind of clean up a little bit, because there are things that the tool can't do that your hand needs to do. Whereas there's things that your hand can't do, and that's why we need to use tools sometimes. So after I go back and clean that up, you can see how nice that looks compared to the other side. So one more time, I'm going to rough this up. Notice I have an inside hand there for support. On the other side of where I'm pressing with the tool, I'm going to go back and forth, going across the first direction I went. Now I'm going to go diagonal just to kind of make sure I really get this coarsely roughed up. And then I'll go back with my smooth tool. Take some time to take the clay off of the tool. Sometimes this the red rubber rib is the softest. The yellow rubber rib is medium, and then the green one is harder, so it's harder to bend. So this is for use with harder clay. This is softer clay. I'm having a hard time getting some of those lines, so I'm going to go to the second tool, which is the medium toughness, the yellow tool. And I think that's going to help me out a little bit more. Yeah, because my clay was starting to get a little bit firm. You can also use the smooth metal rib for this, which is this one. The problem people have with this one a lot is that if you accidentally do this, you get these really sharp, like that, really sharp marks with that tool. But it does work really well. Using it the same way, this part of the tool is what's touching the clay. it can get it really nice and smooth. So you want to smooth out all of your pinch pots all over, inside too, if you can. Inside, outside, even around the lip is nice to do. And again, this technique needs to be done when the clay is not quite leather hard. It's still a little soft. If you've wrapped up the rib of your pot, you can use this tool, which is just a gift card that I've cut a notch out of. It's nice to get around those edges.